This is News with the Disney Dude. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel for more content, and please hit that thumbs up if you like the video. Here now's the news for Monday, June 16th of 2025. Crews add railings to Big Thunder Mountain Railroad at the Magic Kingdom. So yes, another construction update. So they are working, diligently on this. Next year, hopefully, next year will it'll reopen. But at least for right now, they have added some new railings and such to the ride. We don't really. I would assume that this is like evacuation railings in case if the ride breaks down or something. But it is nice to see that they are getting this work completed. Hopefully they'll make a lot more headway since now we're heading into our rainy season. So hopefully it'll get completed by sometime next year. I-4 near Walt Disney World was closed earlier today due to a semi-truck fire. As far as I know, I don't really know what happened. I hope that everyone's okay. Hopefully nobody, lost their life or anything. But if anyone has any information on this story, feel free to comment in the video, comment in the link, comment below. I don't really know what happened, but I hope that everybody is okay and safe and sound. New test track, standby, lightning lane, and single rider signs have been turned on at Epcot. So word on the street is they are getting really close to completing this update. So actually my next story I'll tell you when it's going to reopen. But they are getting really close to getting things done. Which brings us to our next story. Test Track is going to have previews for cast members, pass holders, DVC members, Golden Oak, which is the one of the living areas inside of the Walt Disney World Resort, and Club 33 members. Test Track will reopen on July 22nd. We don't have a date yet for our previews yet for any previews, cast member or pass holder previews. But we'll definitely keep our eye open. But it really shouldn't be too much longer. Since they're I think almost ready. The Boneyard in Dinoland, USA will be closing forever in September. Disney promises new playground in the Tropical Americas land when that opens at Disney's Animal Kingdom. So you do have until September to enjoy this. Your kids have until September to enjoy this play area. It's nice that they are going to have a new play area when the new land opens. So, but but just keep that in mind, that that you have until September to your kids, I should say, your kids have until September to enjoy the boneyard until it goes extinct forever. The old people mover turnstiles have been permanently removed from the Magic Kingdom, which is great. If you are aware, if you've ridden the people mover, right before the cast member says, you're good to go up the escalator, there used to be turnstiles in that area, and then once the cast member said you were good to go through, you would go through the turnstiles. Those have been permanently removed, which I think is which is great. You really don't need turnstiles anymore. I don't even know why they were there in the first place, but Disney kept them around for a reason. But at least the old turnstiles have been removed, as well as the old Fast Pass. This is how old I am. Okay. The People Mover used to have Fast Pass. Okay. For a long time, and then when the parks got shut down due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and they reopened, and once they got the new Lightning Lane set up and everything, the People Mover, they felt like it was overkill to have the People Mover on a Lightning Lane. So I don't really need it. People Mover is, one of those attractions that's, constantly loading. It's it's kind of like I can't think of the name of it now. But it's one of those rides that constantly loads, like Haunted Mansion and The Little Mermaid and Spaceship Earth and Finding Nemo. It's one of those rides that constantly loads, so you don't really need to have a Lightning Lane for it. It was nice when it was on Fast Pass because it was free, so it was nice to have another ride just to, use your free Fast Pass. I don't know if they got rid of it because they thought it was overkill, if they, felt like, they didn't really need to have a Lightning Lane for it. I don't know. I really have no idea. I can't, when the parks reopened and, Lightning Lane took over Fast Pass, I noticed that the People Mover didn't have a Lightning Lane, and I asked the cast member. I said, "Oh, that's interesting." I said, "When did they get rid of the old Fast Pass tap styles for this attraction?" And the cast member looked at me and said, "This ride has never had Fast Pass. You always had standby." I said, "No." I said, "This attraction used to have Fast Pass." I said, I don't know when you started, but, People Mover used to have Fast Pass. Okay? So, again, I don't really know why they got rid of the Fast Pass side. Again, maybe they just thought it was overkill. Who knows? I have no idea. Omnimover. That's the word I was thinking of. Omnimover. Now that I remember what words are. So it constantly loads people. So, but I don't know. I really have, I don't know that knowledge. Only Disney knows that. So if anyone knows the answer to that, if anyone knows the answer to that, you know, comment on the video, because I'm interested to, you know, figure out why Disney, you know, got rid of their Fast Pass turnstiles for the People Mover. So if anyone knows the answer to that, let me know, because I'm interested. I'm interested. The cast member made me feel stupid when I said, you know, the Fast Pass turnstiles, the tap stiles were removed, and they looked and they said, this ride has never had Fast Pass. Yeah, it did. Yes, it did. Okay. Yes, it did. Don't tell me it didn't. Okay. But, you know, whatever. Alright. More test track updates. So, the Q video and ride vehicle announcements are now being tested. So, now, you know, cast members, now that the ride's getting ready to reopen and everything, cast members are now being trained on, you know, the, you know, their announcements, you know, when the ride breaks down, or, you know, when there's a delay, or if there's inclement weather in the area. So they're you know, the cast members are getting trained on it. So, you know, again, this is very good news. Very, very good news. I would expect probably an announcement, I mean, at least, I mean, any time now. Because July 22nd, it's really not that far away. I mean, I know it seems like it, but it's really not. So we'll just have to keep our eyes and ears open. Oh boy, this is a great one. New speed humps have been added to the Epcot parking entry lanes. I guess people were going way too fast and not adhering to the 15-mile-an-hour speed limit, so they added speed humps so you would have to slow down. I mean, I would assume now that all the parks are going to get this now, since Epcot's got it, but people, slow down. Okay, it's not the Daytona Speedway. You know, the Epcot, these parks aren't going anywhere. These parks are not going anywhere, okay? So, when you get to the parking lot and you go past the cast member booths, slow down, okay? Slow down, you know, go the 15-mile-an-hour speed limit, okay? The parks aren't going anywhere, okay? So, just slow down, okay? Slow down. But I thought that was kind of funny. I kind of chuckled to myself. I was like, huh, okay. But, whatever. I mean, we don't want any cast members getting killed, okay? On a serious note. We really don't want cast members getting killed. You know, because they do walk, you know, they do walk between the booths, okay? So, when you pull in at the booth and when you go to pay the cast member for parking, or when you show them your annual pass or whatever, you know, sometimes they have cast members that walk by, you know, with a sign that says stop because they're walking. So I just assume that, you know, Disney doesn't want you to, you know, really speed on by and run people over. So, you know, but kudos to them for doing that. I don't know if that's why, but, you know, better be safe than sorry, really. Alright. Sword returns to the stone. Anvil has been refreshed at the Magic Kingdom. So, once in a while, they take the sword out of the stone at the Magic Kingdom and refresh it, and you know, just like everything else, it gets worn, and you know, you have to you have to keep these things in working order. So So they refurbished the anvil, they refurbished the sword, and now the sword and the stone is back. So you can now try your luck, and you can try to pull the sword out of the stone, so to speak. You can't really pull the sword out of the stone, but it's a nice thing. The photo pass photographers are there. If you do pull the sword out of the stone, they take your picture and quote unquote pull the sword out of the stone. They take your picture and everything. I remember that one very strong guest really did pull the sword out of the stone, and he was banned from the parks. I don't know. I don't know if that would seem kind of like overkill if you were to ban somebody for actually pulling the sword out of the stone. I don't know if he was just really strong and he did it, or if he was like, really yanking at it. And if he was really yanking at it and, actually pulled it out, then yeah, if he was absolutely purposely trying to, get that sword out of the stone, then yes, okay, should ban that person. But if he just accidentally pulled it out, I don't really see why you would want to ban somebody for that, but I don't know. I really have no idea. All right. Disney is casting for Jollywood Nights, which is, obviously confirms that it's coming back for the 2025 holiday season. So I did a honest review last year of the event. I truly think that it hasn't caught on yet, so I really think that it's my favorite Christmas event at the Walt Disney World Resort. It's not crowded. It's not like overly. It's not overly crowded. It's not people aren't rushing to get to Jollywood Nights, which is great right now. But maybe sometime down the road this'll catch on, and then it'll get busier. But the Magic Kingdom Christmas Party, Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, or any after hours events at the Magic Kingdom are always busy or always crazy. So that's what I actually said in my review. I actually said that I had a better time at Jollywood Nights than I actually did at Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. So, and I think that, and this year is going to be really special for Jollywood Nights, because if you have seen Holidays in Hollywood at where Beauty and the Beast is played, you know that Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy co-host that show. So I think that that's going to have a really big impact this year, because they closed Muppet Vision 3D. So I think that that show's going to be even more popular this year, because people are going to want to see Kermit and Miss Piggy, because Disney decided to take them away from us with Muppet Vision 3D. So, and that actually brings me to my last story, which is going to be a rant. The Jim Henson Company, and this is really a rumor right now. We don't really know, but the Jim Henson Company may release Muppet Vision 3D in VR. Now, look, you know how I feel about this, okay? You know how I feel. I think that this would be a terrible idea. And I know people, they're like, oh, just release it on Disney Plus, just release it on VR, blah, 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 blah. No, it doesn't. I'm sorry. I am sorry. I am one of those insane people that thinks that this belongs in a theme park. Okay? It absolutely belongs in a theme park. That's where it belongs. It does not belong on Disney Plus. It does not belong on VR. It does not belong anywhere else except in the theme parks. Okay? And if you people want to argue with me about that, then so be it. I don't care. Okay? But I'm tired of having this. I'm really tired of having this conversation with people. Okay? Muppet Vision 3D does not deserve to be on any kind of video platform. It does not. Okay? People get upset because, and people are ranting and raving about, the rivers of America and how they're ruining the Magic Kingdom and blah, blah, blah. And they're putting cars in and da, 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 da. And the same people don't get upset over Muppet Vision 3D. I'm sorry. That is stupid. That is really stupid for you to pick that fight over Muppet Vision 3D. I am sorry. Alright, I am sorry you feel that way, but Tom Sawyer Island and the riverboat means nothing to people here in Florida. It does not. Okay? It's a carbon copy of the Liberty Square riverboat and the rivers of America in Disneyland. Alright? Walt Disney World, that doesn't matter. Okay? These classic attractions that are specifically for Walt Disney World, that's what they should be keeping, okay? Country Bear Jamboree, which I'm glad that stayed. It got updated, which I really like that show. I don't care what anybody says. I really like that show, okay? Country Bears, the Hall of Presidents, which is another one. That's another one people are like, oh, I want it to go away. No. Hall of Presidents needs to be at Magic Kingdom, all right? So, Country Bears, Hall of Presidents, Muppet Vision 3D, it's tough to be a bug. These specific attractions that were built specifically for Walt Disney World, okay? And they're just destroying it piece by piece by piece, okay? And I don't agree with that. I really do not agree with that, all right? So, I mean, if you're going to come in and argue with me that, that they should keep the rivers of America and blah, 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 I'm sorry. I am sorry, but you are wrong. You are absolutely wrong. Okay? The rivers of America and Tom Sawyer Island mean absolutely nothing to the Walt Disney World audience. It just doesn't. Alright? It's not like Muppet Vision 3D, where everybody knew the Muppets. Okay? And our Muppet Vision 3D, Walt Disney World's was the first. Okay? Disneyland got it later. But Walt Disney World's was first. Okay? And just like the Hall of Presidents, we are the only Disney resort to have the Hall of Presidents, okay? And that was exclusive to Walt Disney World. Country Bear Jamboree, okay? We were the very first, the Magic Kingdom here in Walt Disney World was the first park to have the Country Bears. And then they were brought over to Disneyland, okay? But Disneyland it really wasn't popular over at Disneyland. It didn't go over quite as well as Disney had hoped, okay? But attractions that are specific to Walt Disney World should absolutely stay, okay? And even the classic attractions. And, someone also in the comments, got into an argument with me because I said, that they're getting rid of the classic attractions and everything. And this person came in and said, they're going to get rid of all the attractions anyway, and they're all outdated and old and blah, blah, blah. I said, so I wrote them. I said, so you're going to tell me that the Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean, It's a Small World, Carousel of Progress, those are going to go away because you think that they're outdated. And they basically said yes, okay? So once they stop drawing crowds, they're going to go away. And I said, how dare you? How dare you? Okay? These classic attractions belong in the parks. They do. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to make that argument, but that's the way it should be. Carousel of Progress should never be shut down. So Disney, I'm looking at you. If you shut down Carousel of Progress, I'm coming after you. Because I'm already pissed off because you got rid of Muppet Vision. Alright? So don't you dare get rid of the Carousel of Progress. Or the Haunted Mansion. Or Pirates of the Caribbean. Or It's a Small World. Don't do that. Because you really will piss off a lot of the fans. Alright? So, but that's my rant. That's my rant. That's how I feel on Muppet Vision 3D. I think that's outrageous. That is outrageous. That's like saying we're getting rid of the Tom Sawyer Island and the riverboat and we're putting that on VR. Why would I want to do that on VR? That makes no sense. Okay? Why don't you just put the whole damn park on VR then? Okay? Then I wouldn't have to leave my home. I could just go around Walt Disney World on my phone, on a screen, if that's what you want to do. Okay? So, I don't know. That's the way I feel. I don't think it should be released on VR. That's totally outrageous. But, I don't know. Let me know how you feel. But I think that they're just basically they're spitting on Jim Henson's grave. They really are. They really are. And I'm sorry, but that's the way I feel, and that's the way I'm always gonna feel. But just let me know how you feel. So, if you like this very dark rant, if you like these dark rants that I go on, please like this video. Please subscribe to my channel for more content. I thank you guys very much for watching this video. You guys keep each other safe and healthy. And remember that tomorrow is just a dream away.